Bonjour, je suis not manly, et ici le voyage d'espace je ne sais quoi. Welcome to Bop, the fourth moon of Jool. Bop is still a tiny little rock, 360 kilometers across, a mere 0.7 microkerbins, and surface gravity is hardly anything. You could possibly get down there with EVA packs, but I didn't bother trying. A solar day is almost 47 Kerbin days, and the inclination is just wild. Even worse if you have the Principia mod installed that does n-body physics. Delta V to get out here takes 2 kilometers per second from Laythe. Capturing can take a kilometer per second, or more than double that with Principia installed. Landing is pretty cheap though, at a mere 360 meters per second. It is a superb challenge of your mission planning skills because of its inclination, and it has an okay science multiplier for when you get out here. The problem, well, this place is not the Bop you know, just like we know. Again, wild inclination, which is even worse with Principia. There's only 4 biomes, and the Kraken was evicted! Say what? I'll have to check that out later. Anyway, when we last left our heroes, Valentina, Bob, and Doug Kerman, they were in low Tylo orbit getting ready to eject out to Bop. They're having a hard time getting an intersect out at Bop, though, because Tylo just seems to be getting in our way for some oddball reason. But anyway, I decided to just leave it at that and have a close approach of 15,000 kilometers, and then we did some adjustments later. Not too bad, though. There was a crescent Tylo on the way out. Now, because of Bop's ridiculous inclination, we ended up approaching on a pretty wild inclination as well. But that's okay, we do have our precision maneuver thrusters for adjusting that. We do fix that up when we get out here, though. And there we go. Not too bad. Capturing from Tylo was not that expensive once we got our course corrected out there. Anyway, here I am getting my science ready. I'm wondering, where is Bop? Oh, wait a minute. There's Bop. I was looking in the wrong direction all this time. There we go. It's about the same size as Dres. Maybe smaller than Dres. Yeah, I think so. And it presents about as much of a challenge as Dres, too, getting out here, and also closing orbit above it. A lot browner, though, kind of a Dres-Moho hybrid? I don't know. I don't remember stock Bop being quite looking like this. Of course, I've only been out there once before. Lots and lots of crater... Why didn't we have more crater biomes there? That's what I want to know. Same problem with Vol and Tylo for some reason. Maybe some biome love is in the future for these guys? I sure hope so. Anyway, we're going to watch for a gorgeous Bop sunset as we approach our maneuver to close orbit. And there we go. Not bad. Once again, gorgeous graphics as usual. So we'll close orbit straight away first, then we'll adjust our inclination out at apoapsis when we try to look for anomalies. We did find something on the approach, but it was right on the edge of the disk of Bop, so we're going to try again. We're already in a pretty close to polar orbit as it is, so all we got to do is just stay here for a little while. There we go. So we'll zoom out to apoapsis, and then we'll enter into a higher, slower orbit. We'll find that object. We know it's out there somewhere. On stock Bop, the Kraken could be found near the North Pole, but here I just couldn't find anything else. I did find the one anomaly, though. It's right there. There it is. Could not find anything else. With the Kraken gone, though, it does not mean the Kraken's influence does not go with it, though. You will see in a moment when we land. So there we go, we fix our inclination, we lower periapsis, there we go. Get nice and close to Bop. There weren't as crazy mountaintops on this Bop, so not a problem, we could get pretty low there. We end up waiting for the anomaly to show up on the day side of it. That took a while, but we had all the time in the world, no problem. Come on. Why am I showing you this fast forward? Maybe I should have edited this out. I don't know. Maybe just to show you that I wasn't cheating? I don't know. Anyway, with that navigator marker showing up on the day-night terminator, we finally stop. And then we get ready to detach our lander/rover. This was equipped for Edna, and it needed all of that lower stage Delta V to land, but Bob is considerably smaller, it seems, so it did not need that stage to fully land. We were able to use it for a bit once we were getting down to the surface. But because we have all this excess Delta V on this lander, we bring up here, there we go, door side surface. Get aboard there, Bob. We're going to bring Valentina along as well with her piloting experience. We're going to need that. That rove mate does not have anything aside from SAS hold. Okay. And you know what? Since we do have this excess of Delta V, I decide let's see if we can get an intersect with the anomaly right away. And there we go. So that deorbit burn is a lot of plane change as well as deorbit. And there we go. Yeah, no, in hindsight, I probably should have put the chairs on the other side of the rove mate. Because these guys are having to look down here. Similar kind of problem. Oh, look at that. Come on. Get some low space science while we're at it. Not a bad landing. It's going to be pretty easy. Little on the dark side, but that's okay. We're going to end up on the Terminator. Trying to pick up some gravioli science as we descend. There we go. We're beginning to see the beginnings of some sunshine. Silly me though, I forgot to turn on the navigation so we could see where that marker was on the nav ball. But we are going backwards anyway, we wouldn't have been able to see it. But still, that suicide burn countdown was counting down pretty quickly, so here, we needed to slow down. Come on. Now, as we approached, we did find a nice flat spot in a valley to land. But I took a look around and I'm like, you know what, the anomaly has to be around here somewheres. So, let's take a look around. Wait a minute. I think I see it already. Yeah, it's up in the top left there, so I'm like, let's get on over there. So Valentina's eagle eyes pick up the object on the surface even here in the dark. Look at that. And we do get credit for finding it. I'll show you the radio message in a bit. We're going to touch down first though. We still have so much Delta V in that lower stage. We'll just drop down here. Touchdown. And let's get a good look at that object. It's one of the random monoliths. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all. What do we pick up? Advanced electrostatic thrusters. Okay. Very good. So, there we go. A nice shot. There we got. I think that's Eve. I think that's Kerbal there. And just before the sun was something else. I could not quite recognize it by its color. But that's okay. Bob heads out to the anomaly. We're going to plant a flag on top of the monolith. And there's the flag. Yes, we're back to our main flag. Way to go, Bob! That's the 4th world you've landed on since this trip out to Jool. There we go. Head on back, we'll go get some science here from the Midlands. And we head out to the Highlands and we take a look around. Oh, look at that beautiful mesa up there in the distance. Beautiful. Here is a gorgeous drive with Jool in the background. We're just taking our time. This was me trying to find something on the surface, but I just had no luck. There aren't any scannable objects, but we do have this thing right here at the North Pole. Oh boy, if it isn't Mohole, it's going to be one of these things. So we found these things on Minmus. Where else did we find this? Oh yeah, we found one on Drez, and we found one here. So it looks like the Kraken might not be here in the flesh, but he is definitely here in spirit. Look at that. Come on. And there are some ugly terrain seams up there, just like at Minmus, so be very careful up here if you do make this trip. Just a big, menacing object here. Better get out of there. So we just hightail it out of there and whoops. Oh my goodness. Val, was that real or was that just a dream? I don't know, Bob, but let's just get out of here. So with all the science that we can extract, we eject right away. We're actually quite a ways behind from the main mission craft, but that's okay. We'll go in a lower orbit, and then we catch up with Doug here in the main mission craft. This is a pretty straightforward rendezvous, transfer of crew, transfer of science. Bob was a pretty easy place to go to, kind of like, I can't remember the place names anymore, kind of like Dak was, there we go. Once again, we got 2 copies of everything, one on the experiment storage unit, one on Bob. Okay, load everything up. We still ended up with extra copies of things for some reason, but that's okay. We'll just discard those. Anyway, Valentina decides she wants to take the rover onto the docking port herself. With a really good idea, she has much firmer command of this craft than the Rovemate probe core does. Even with that though, it was a bit of a challenge here without RCS. Bonk. Oh well, let's try that again. And there we go. Valentina Kerman, pilot extraordinaire and docking specialist. Look at that. There we go, the magnets take over and we successfully redock. We'll send out Doug here to strut everything back up before we head out to Paul. Paul will be the last stop, and we're going to take a break after coming back from Jool. It has been a long and hard trip for these guys, but it's not quite over yet. The next stop is Paul on the next episode. Until then, I'm not Manly. Fly safe.